What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE signing a major New Japan Pro Wrestling star. Did Charlotte forget she was a babyface on Smackdown? A former star wants $1 million to make a return at the Royal Rumble. Triple H and Ric Flair finally reconcile, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at WWE signing a major New Japan Wrestling star. Our top story today takes a look at the news that WWE could be interested in signing a major New Japan star. According to a new report published by Fightful Select, WWE are interested in Tama Tonga. Tonga recently wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom, defeating WWE star Carl Anderson, and it said that this interest isn't new, but it's received some more traction in the New Japan Pro Wrestling locker room as of late. Interestingly, Tonga was offered a WWE deal 7 years ago but ultimately turned it down, which was a smart decision as Tonga would go on to cement himself as one of the top stars in New Japan. It's unclear if Tonga is interested in signing for WWE, but it also has been reported that WWE are interested in signing his older brother, so naturally that may positively influence Tonga's decision. Would you guys like to see Tonga sign for WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, did Charlotte Flair forget she was a babyface on Smackdown? Charlotte Flair has been firmly presented as a babyface on the Blue brand since her return, and whilst this was a welcome change for fans, it appears that Flair momentarily forgot that she was in fact a babyface. Following her victory over Sonya Deville on Smackdown this week, Flair proceeded to snatch the women's title out of the referee's hands in a heelish manner. Flair then immediately realized what she had done and apologized to the referee. The referee Jessica Carr began to smirk, and the two women no doubt found great humor in the situation when they both went back through the curtain. In relation to Flair's prior absence, what fans weren't aware of was that Flair had a major issue with her teeth. According to her father Ric Flair on the After the Bell podcast, Flair had to take a step back from WWE due to her dental issues, as well as having a well-deserved break. Flair is now firmly back as a full-time talent in WWE, and this has certainly helped elevate a struggling SmackDown's women's division. Next up, a former WWE star wants $1 million to make a Royal Rumble return. A former WWE star, Paul London, has revealed on the latest edition of the Cafe de Rene podcast that he would be interested in making a surprise Royal Rumble appearance. However, if this was to happen, London revealed that he would want $1 million in cash and that he would want the money up front. London would then proceed to go on a crude rant against Vince McMahon, which we can't share due to the content not being appropriate for YouTube. But it goes without saying that WWE are likely to outright reject London's offer, and London will be unlikely to appear at the Royal Rumble. In fact, he's unlikely to ever appear for WWE in any capacity again. Next up, a popular NXT team set for a call-up. It looks like WWE could be planning a main roster call-up for Kit Wilson and Elton Prince, collectively known as Pretty Deadly. It's been reported that the duo are working WWE live events this weekend, and this usually is a sign that a call-up is on the horizon. The work of Pretty Deadly has received widespread praise of late, as the NXT feud with The New Day has shown that the WWE can build a future of the tag division around the duo. As always, we'll keep you posted on any call-up plans, including when Pretty Deadly could potentially debut on Raw or SmackDown. When it comes to the status of the tag titles on the WWE main roster, it's still being reported that the Usos will be defending their titles at WrestleMania 39 against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, so potential post-Mania call-up for Pretty Deadly could work extremely well. Next up, Jim Ross fires back at fans. A legendary commentator Jim Ross has received criticism for his AEW commentary, and some fans have gone one step further by ruling that JR should take a step back from pro wrestling and officially call it a day. JR has confirmed that he has no plans to retire and has clapped back to his critics on the latest edition of his Grilling JR podcast. I read about it every day. When is JR gonna quit? When is JR gonna get off Wednesday? I gotta get off the air. Well, I've got no timeline on this thing. I know when my agreement with Tony Khan is up, but does that mean I'm not going to continue? No. Does that mean I'm going to continue at that point? Make a final decision that, hey, I've had enough, I'm tapping, I want to work less hours, I'm going to work less travel, I'm not going to fly every week, whatever it may be, is still to be determined. But the older you get and you don't pass upon those opportunities. Next up, WWE veteran willing to return for a dream match. This week on WWE's digital show The Bump, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair name-dropped Michelle McCool as a potential dream opponent. McCool was a talent who was way ahead of her time and never truly received her flowers during her initial run. McCool will respond to Flair's comments via Twitter, and it looks like the former women's champion is up for a WWE comeback to wrestle Flair in a certified dream match. Real talk, respect. Oh, and I stay ready for any time. Tagging in WWE, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. It's still unknown who Flair is going to face at WrestleMania 39 in April, and McCool would make for an exciting choice for the biggest show of the WWE's calendar year. Next up, Triple H and Ric Flair finally reconcile. A WWE Hall of Famer, Ric Flair seems to have a habit of falling out with every wrestler that's ever existed. One wrestler that Flair has buried the hatchet with is Triple H. The fallout between Flair and the Game was well documented, and Flair seemed to enjoy it, talking about it every single week on his podcast. Nevertheless, according to Flair on the latest edition of his podcast, he attended Smackdown on Friday night and he and Triple H hugged and managed to reconcile. Flair and the Game were friends for years and they were insanely close, particularly when the two were stablemates in Evolution. Flair also confirms that he has plans to be at the Royal Rumble later this month, but Flair won't elaborate in what capacity he'll be attending the show. With Flair and the Game rekindling their friendship, it's a possibility that the head of the WWE creative looks to use Flair in a wider role on WWE television. Flair has always had the desire to return to WWE TV, and the new regime may look to use Flair's star power by managing a young star or simply involving him in a storyline linked with his daughter Charlotte. Would you guys like to see Flair back on TV? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Kurt Angle ready to wrestle again for WWE. Our final story today takes a look at a recent comment from WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, who has been outright stating that he would wrestle for WWE again if the money was right. Angle had his last WWE match back at WrestleMania 35, where he was defeated by Baron Corbin in a lackluster matchup that received extensive criticism. Fans believed and continue to believe that WWE completely wasted Angle's last match, and Angle should have sailed off into the sunset after wrestling his former arch-rival John Cena. Angle has been hinting at coming out of retirement in recent months, and on the latest edition of his podcast, Angle confirmed that he would wrestle on a special show emanating from Saudi Arabia. There's just one catch. Angle would agree to wrestle again if he was paid the same as what Shawn Michaels received to come out of retirement in 2019, which was reportedly a total of $3 million. Well, you know what, I'm not a WWE lifer. Shawn is. His loyalty is still with the WWE and they pay him very well for it. What are you talking about? I would do it in a second. Good knees or bad knees, I would do it in a second. There's no news in relation to if WWE are interested in having Angle wrestle in any capacity, as has been used in non-wrestling roles in recent years. The idea of Angle managing a talent such as Chad Gable has been thrown around a lot on social media, and this is potentially the smartest route WWE and Angle could go down at this stage. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.